in fact, what Carlos did end up doing and take a look at his draft right now. There you see him, Carlos Romao, top 8 draft here at Grand Prix Atlanta.
Oh, that's not bad either.
Not bad start. We see a long tusk cub, propeller pioneer. I believe that's a gear shift ace under there as well. Some thriving grubs pulled to the front.
Yeah, you just got to slam that long tusk cub though, right?
Fun fact, Marshall, 7 out of the 8 drafters we see here in the top 8 said long tusk cub was their favorite uncommon in the set.
7 out of 8?
7 out of 8. The only exception was Cash Turner, who said Snarethopter.
I was hoping you were going to say it was Carlos.
That would be too good.
Somebody would be very happy.
Yeah. Long tusk cub, just a super solid pickup.
God, that card's good. It's so scary. And it has some of the most apt flavor text, too.
It won't be small forever.
Yeah, it usually only takes about a turn.
Yeah, certainly not.
It's really particularly good when paired with other energy cards, so that you can play it on turn 2, then make 2 energy with something else on turn 3 and attack. That'll often get it in for 2 more and start the energy train rolling.
Here we see Key to the City, the rare in this pack. We saw it do some work this weekend.
Absolutely we have. It's a tough card to grade. It lets you kind of work through your deck while also breaking up board stalls and getting in for big chunks of damage, but it's a little tricky to actually make great. Just that you are discarding cards to it each time, and while you can pay 2 to get them back, then your mana's kind of tied up in the Key to the City, so it's a little bit weird, but it's proven powerful.
He's going to take Aetherborn Marauder from this pack.
Ooh.
Interesting pick. It's a powerful card. Flying and lifelink 2/2. You can move counters onto it. If you have any +1/+1 counters on the rest of your creatures out on the battlefield.
I wonder where he could get some of those.
Probably a long tusk cub. Interesting. Synergy.
Yeah. Well, there's another one.
Pick 3 here. We see a Seed Sculptor at the front.
Yeah, the Kujar Seed Sculptor is another way to get a counter that you can snatch away with the Aetherborn Marauder.
Some black cards in the back there. Morbid Curiosity, an interesting card.
Yeah, one that I still haven't really seen people play much of.
And a Duned Operative. I know you like that card, Marshall.
I do. I like that card a lot, but I really like Kujar Seed Sculptor, and given what Carlos has already taken, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
This is kind of a free counter he can throw around. You can see scenarios already just with the 3 cards that he's had that already look good.
Oh.
Ooh, Riparian Tiger.
Riparian Tiger.
There's also a Die Young.
Die Young. We have Elegant Edge Crafters at the back of the pack. And an ambitious Aetherborn is hiding in there as well.
Yeah, some really good stuff. It does. I like Carlos's pick here. He takes the most potent card, right? You know, the Edge Crafters is a little bit more versatile, but it costs an extra mana. The Die Young kills some small things, but ultimately leaves you wanting a little bit. But the Tiger's just a smasher, man. You just play that thing, and it's like, all right, well, coming across.
Yep.
Red Rover, send the Riparian Tiger right over, and it always obliges.
It has to be dealt with.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a threat that must be dealt with.
Here's another way to get some energy. Sage of Shayla's Claim.
Yeah, I actually like the card that Carlos just pulled to the front there. Durable Handicraft is an option here as well.
Durable Handicraft. What an interesting card. When a creature enters the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And for 5 and a green, you can sacrifice it and put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So cards like this, sometimes if they don't have the 5 and a green part of this card, you're like, oh, it's only good early. This card, flexible to be good early and late.
Yeah, it's really shines in the mid part of the game and the late part of the game. And in the turn 2 to turn 3 to turn 4 range, it's a little awkward.
Here we have Aetherworks Marvel.
I think I'd probably not mess with that here and just take the Wild Wanderer. The Wild Wanderer is a solid card. He has actually not solidified himself in his second color yet. This doesn't do that either, the Aetherworks Marvel. But I'm not in love with this card.
I mean, it is very powerful if you're able to maintain a good, strong surge of energy coming your way. Otherwise, it doesn't really do a lot.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And, you know, it's hard to activate. The first time that you activate it, you're just getting the card back. This is limited. You know, you're not stacking the top of your deck with Emrakuls and stuff. If you're lucky, you know, you might hit like a Riparian Tiger, in which case you've paid a discount of 1.
Yep.
Now, it's not that simple, but kind of is. You know, you're rarely just completely destroying somebody with the card. You're getting an instant speed, and you're getting the choice of some other bigger cards, but sometimes you're missing and getting worse. I think I'd rather just have a creature 4-drop there instead of messing around with that Marvel.
Ornamental Courage, he's pulled to the front here.
Sure.
+1/+3, untap target.
That's a
creature.
shrug pick, Maria.
Yeah.
That's a,
Sure, whatever.
Put that in my pile. Maybe I'll play it, maybe I won't.
Yeah, we've seen Ornamental Courage, you and I, Marshall, once on camera this weekend.
We did. It was pretty good the time we
was.
saw it. Yeah, it was on a conduit, or servant of the conduit, right?
Yeah.
And then it tapped for mana after that?
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Sage of Shayla's came back.
Good pickup there.
Now, the thing that I love, and I know you love this too, Maria, we're the same like this, is Carlos is effectively mono green.
Yes, he is.
Now, he does have the Aetherborn Marauder, but otherwise he stayed fully in green, and when he goes to that second pack, whatever he opens, he can take. Doesn't matter if it's blue, whether it's white, if it's black, great. If it's green, hey, even better.
Right?
But, I mean, he could open a Torrential Gearhulk and just be like, sure,
Sure,
boom,
it's mine. Yeah, a fantastic place to be in going into pack 2.
And he's in the best individual color in the set as well, green.
Ooh, those Elegant Edgecrafters came back.
Hello.
Get in the deck.
That's great. Yeah, geez.
That card is a real threat. Fabricate 2 can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, which is pretty significant in this format, I found.
Yeah.
There are a lot of little cards running around.
Mm-hmm. Servos clacking around on the ground.
Yep.
Yep.
If I'm Carlos, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Dude, I'm like standing in front of the table and flexing my muscles. I'm just like, what now? Yeah, the only card I really don't like in there is that Aetherworks Marvel. I just think it's medium.
Yeah.
But whatever. He's completely set up here in green, and now he's just hoping to open some sweet bomb mythic rare here in any color.
And you know what else you would want in this deck?
What's that?
I think some Thriving Rhinos.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, for sure. Those go perfectly with the cub. Of course, he would take any number of cubs that he could get his hand on.
Yeah, oh yeah. And those Sage of Shayla's claims really help pump up those rhinos too. And keep the Riparian Tigers going.
Let's see what happens.
I'm excited, Marshall.
There's just really nothing bad that can happen for Carlos here. Right?
No.
He's basically free to take the best card out of this pack almost regardless of what it is. The only thing that would prevent him from doing that is if there was a green card that was close, in which case he'd probably just take that.
Potentially if it's a gold card outside of his colors, but let's take a look. Another durable handicraft.
All right. Well, he did not open a bomb rare, unfortunately.
No.
He got a Blossoming Marsh, which is not really going to do a lot for him here. The Bomat Bazaar Barge was his vehicle.
Skywhaler's Shot pulled to the front.
Yeah, I think I would take it here.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's clearly the most powerful card in the pack. It is in a specific color, but all you're really giving up is the Bazaar Barge, which I find kind of medium anyway, right? The Barge to me isn't one a huge pull. I'd probably just like to take the Skywhaler Shot here.
Looks to be what he's favoring. Yep, and he takes it.
Yeah. And make no mistake, this is not him fully committing to white or jumping in that direction. This is just him saying, all right, well, I'm going to take the best card out of the pack, and we'll see where it goes from here. Maybe he picks up some good green cards. Maybe he does move into white. You'll see. We'll see here. This is where he gets to start to read some of the signals as well.
Inventor's Fair, the rare in this pack.
Yeah.
There's a Fretwork Colony. Glint Sleeve Artisan.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. Ninth Bridge Patrol. Placata Pillarbug.
Yeah, I think the Glint Sleeve Artisan's just the best card in this pack, and it happens to be in the color he just moved in on. So I think if I'm Carlos, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take it.
A Tune with the Ether also up front right now.
Kind of interesting if he took that.
Oh, he's taking the Pillarbug.
Well, I'm surprised to see that. See, the thing about the Pillar Bug is that it looks like a colorless card, but really it's black. You do not want to play that card if it's just a 2/3 with no ability whatsoever. So he passed on a white 3-drop in the removal that he just took, and instead he's taken effectively a black 3-drop.
Right.
All right, choo-choo.
Here comes the Renegade Freighter.
So that's truly a colorless card,
Yes.
and also one that's going to go anytime.
Keep in mind that Carlos is to the left of Chris, whose draft we saw earlier.
Oh, that's right. For people watching live on the stream that watched the Chris Fennell draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So far, no rhinos coming Carlos's way. Interesting. Underhanded designs, as well as Kumbal. Oh, speak of the devil.
Hey, you
there he
found
is.
it. There's the rhino that you wanted to see, Maria, and I'm sure that Carlos did too. He had some ideas on the gold rare, taking some other stuff, and he's like, nope.
Nope.
It's rhino time.
I mean, when you're playing a base green deck, there's nothing really more than you want to be doing on turn 3 than playing a Thriving Rhino.
Yeah, Thriving Rhino is really one of the better 3-drops, especially at common. It's got to be the best.
Especially when you've played a Sage of Shayla's Claim on turn 2.
Mm.
Hunt the Weak.
Or a cub.
Or a Cub, yeah.
Yeah.
Cub
Let's think big here.
Flotilla Brawler in the back of the pack.
Yeah, I like that Hunt the Week that you saw at first. That seems sweet here.
Yeah.
Hunt the Week, particularly good in this set because +1/+1 counters sometimes matter, and because the green creatures in this set are, well, somewhat typically huge. They're just big green creatures, and so they're almost always going to mow down whatever it is that you target. You know, the white creatures, some of them have Fabricate. You end up with a 2/1 flyer, 2/2 on the ground. Sometimes Hunt the Week doesn't get the job done, but the green ones do.
Let's take a look here. Another Kujar Seed Sculptor.
Yeah, he's got an engineered might.
Might.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is kind of a power level pick. I think I would just take the Seed Sculptor. Engineered Might has impressed me sporadically, and then other times it's looked like not that great, where the Seed Sculptors just looked always good to me.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that Engineered Might has white in the mana cost too makes it a little bit prohibitive for Carlos.
Yeah, it can be a blowout, but Carlos isn't so certain he's white at this point in the draft.
You know, right now it's just the Sky Whaler shot that's really pulling him in that direction. And that's a minor pull, right? Nothing huge.
Let's take a look here. We have a Sequestered Stash and Aradara Express. Ether Meltdown there at the back.
Yeah, why is that still in the back?
I don't know. It's a good card.
Yeah. He may just take it since there's really nothing else going on here anyway.
Yeah. There you can see it's a flash enchantment. You can enchant a creature or a vehicle with it. Enchanted permanent gets -4, -0, and also you get 2 energy.
I feel like I'm wheeling and dealing with that card. It's like, and I'll throw in 2 energy.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Look, another Riparian Tiger.
Jeez. That's a late tiger.
And Imperial Voyager there in the back, I think. He's going to
You're
take
right.
the Tiger.
Yeah, wow. That's good. Jeez.
Wow.
He's certainly in the right color here. Green
Yes, he
is
is.
just flowing around the table. And you know what?
Mono green.
Maria, he could be. There's not a huge incentive to do so, but so far there's a durable handicraft if he wants it. It's kind of interesting, but you know that thing that we said going into pack 2?
Yeah.
It's the same thing going into 3.
Yes,
he
it is.
still has not committed to a second color.
He took that Blossoming Marsh, or Blooming Marsh, rather.
Mm-hmm.
That was his pack he opened.
And there's the Attune with the
There
Ether.
it is. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of Attune with the Ether being played this weekend.
That's because that card's really good.
Yeah, very simple, very good.
Low impact, but has a high upside to it.
Refurbish. Sure. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh man, Whirler Virtuoso. Ouch.
You know what? I like it, Carlos.
Get it out of there.
Yeah, man. Like that's just disrespectful, that card going so late.
Fragmentize?
Sure.
Yeah. Marshall, let me ask you this. When was the last time you engineered might the last
Really?
pick?
Was that the last
Yes.
pick? Wow.
When was the last time you drafted a single color deck?
Monocolored deck. I did in Eldritch Moon somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably a couple months ago. Very rare. Does not happen very often in Limited.
No, it does not.
You're not actually that incentivized to do so either.
No.
Like, if it's there, it's okay, but you usually end up missing out on key interactions and key things if you're just issue 4 colors. Your mana ends up being very good and very consistent, which is a significant upside, but like, you know, if you're green and you don't have any hard removal, you're kind of like, well, maybe I should have just been in black and green. Like, my mana would have
Right.
been fine anyway. If you're just in black and your opponent plays an enchantment and you're like, well...
Sorry, we're going to get back to the draft in just a second. Yeah, it's usually not worth it, Marshall, to sort of sacrifice power that you can get from another color or on the color wheel
Right.
by simply staying in one color.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're looking at an upside and a downside. The downside being that you're going to miss out on some amount of power level usually. In order to be monocolored, there's usually going to be a few cards down at the bottom end of your pool that you're like, well, I want to be mono green, so I'll run a main deck, something that I wouldn't normally run, or run some mediocre creature, you know, your Cowl Prowler or whatever. You're like, yeah,
Right,
whatever, get
right.
in there, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing, to make that happen. And you're missing out on methods, right? Like ways to approach a format, things that you can do. Flying,
Right.
right? I'm mono green. Well, you probably don't have that many flyers in your deck then, right? That's just kind of how that works. Looks like we're in the pack 3 here, Maria.
We have a Renegade Freighter pulled to the front here. Looks to be a confiscation coup.
I would just take that.
Yeah, take the Freighter.
No, I would take the coup.
Oh, you would?
Yeah. See, like I said, I don't mind being in 2 colors. I'm not,
Sure.
like, this is what I was waiting for.
Yeah, the bomb.
Yeah, those type of bombs. He's already got an energy, sub-theme going on anyway. And what is the blue card that he got? He has something blue.
Yeah,
that we
Ether
liked.
Meltdown.
Yeah, he's got an Ether Meltdown in there. Dang, Arborback Stomper.
Nice. Yeah, I think I take the coup there as well. Renegade Freighter, though, can be so backbreaking.
No, I know. The thing is that Freighter just pushes you in that direction every single time. But, man, but the Confiscation Coup is a bomb. I mean, that is the thing that you just don't get to do in this format. And in some formats, you just never get to steal your opponent's stuff. And doing so usually is a game ender. It's a built-in 2-for-1. And as solid as the Freighter is, for me, staying open this long is giving me the ability to say, okay, now I'm going to move in.
Sure.
But I can see it. I mean, I'm not saying that I think that he made, a full-on wrong pick. I'm just saying what I would do in that spot.
Yeah.
Because the Freighters, card's dumb. Call it the pain train for nothing.
Let's take a look here. We have a Deadlock Trap.
Well, if you're going to be mono green, that is one way that you can help shore up some removal weaknesses that you have. Like, he's got a couple of Hunt the Weeks in this deck.
Yep.
But
one.
Card like Deadlock Trap can help.
Yeah. Deadlock Trap, great at locking creatures down, or planeswalkers if you need to, if you have enough energy.
Hopefully not in Limited, right? Like,
You would hope not.
yeah. And I think that really just says tap target creature or Gideon.
Indeed. Blossoming Defense, Fairgrounds Trumpeter pulled to the front.
Interesting. How many +1/+1 counters? He is actually doing a significant amount. He's got the Cub. He's got the Thriving Rhino. He's got a little bit of Fabricate. It's probably worth going for the Trumpeter.
I think it is.
Yeah, I would actually lean towards the Blossoming Defense. He's got some really big cards that are really good to protect, and this is one of the best combat tricks in the set.
Yeah, he's taking it.
Yeah, I actually like that pick. The Trumpeter's cool, and he could do some stuff with it, but it's more replaceable. It's ultimately just another creature that might get bigger, where the Blossoming Defense is a way for him to interact with his opponent's creatures and removal spells that he just doesn't have right now. Whoa, Bristling Hydra.
Bristling Hydra. Oh, talk about being rewarded for being in the right color. A 4/3 for 4. You get 3 energies. Energy counters when it enters the battlefield. Can pay 3 energy. Put a +1/+1 counter on, and guess what? It also gains hexproof. Unkillable. What a pickup.
Is somebody just going to pass him the trophy for the GP next?
Yeah. Nissa, probably.
My gosh.
Guriper Guide. That card is pretty good in his deck.
It is pretty good in his deck. I think he should take it.
You can pay 2 and a green to give target creature you control unblockable by creatures with power 2 or less this turn. Great addition. When you've got Riparian Tigers running around, sure, you can't block them with your servos.
Yeah, totally.
Nope.
Yeah, and they're already such a handful having trample anyway, then taking out the ability to like stack block with small creatures just makes it so difficult.
We have an Elegant Edgecrafters in this pack, Prophetic Prism up top, as well as a Takedown.
I guess I would just take the takedown out of the pack.
Took Gear Seeker Serpent.
What the?
That's interesting. Maybe he thinks he can't beat it? I'm not sure.
He could just be cutting it at this point. That's a good point. I have a feeling that Carlos is just going to be mono green.
I mean,
like,
there's a Pima Outrider.
A Pima Outrider too. What is going on? This is this is just gross.
Wow, we've seen 2 fantastic drafts tonight here in the top 8.
Man. Can those 2 meet in the finals?
That'd be epic.
They can. We've got the list. We'll share that with you in a little bit. But
Servant of the Conduit.
Oh my
yes,
God.
yes, thank you.
Oh man, that's a great pickup for his deck too. It's
Fantastic.
an energy creature, and it also ramps him into the Tigers and the other 4 drops.
Oh, this is looking great for Carlos. Rounding the home stretch. It's got to feel good.
I don't know if we even need to commentate this topic. Just hand him the trophy, man. You did it, Carlos. Congratulations.
Picks up a High Spire Artisan there.
Maybe we'll make him earn it, actually.
Yeah, let's make him work for it, Marshall.
There's probably
Come
a few
on.
players in the top 8 that would beg to differ with just handing that trophy
I think
over.
so. Could take another Ornamental Courage. Probably not going to play it. +1/+3.
Man, every card he's passed has just come back.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, it feels unlikely, but he may be the only green drafter at the whole table. Like,
He
they may
might.
not even be splashing.
He might. That Pima Outrider that late makes me consider that.
Yeah. We know the people. Whoa, hello. We know the people over on the right side
We're
are.
all like, we're hunched and watching the draft.
That's what it looks like when we're not ready for the camera and sitting
Hello.
because we're staring at the monitor in front of us, just like, what is even happening at this point?
Well, that was great. I was on the edge of my seat, literally, watching that draft.
Crazy draft. I'm still a little bit in shock about that.
Oh,
one.
so am I.
Unreal draft from Carlos. I'm assuming he's just going to go mono green. I don't think there's any reason for him to splash around. The Aetherborn Marauder, that kind of stuff. He did have the Sky Whaler shot, which he could put in his deck.
He could.
I mean,
Is it worth it, though?
God, I don't know. It's the kind of thing that when you're building, you look at it and you're like, do I really want to run 7 planes
for
one Sky Whaler? Even though it is like one of the best cards in his deck. Like,
it is.
and it's something that he could really use. He might go for it. He didn't take that Prism. I can't remember how many Attune with the Ethers he ended up with, but that might change his story a little bit. When you're almost all forests, Attune with the Ether becomes a land that's any basic land you want, right? It's that simple. You're never keeping a hand that has no lands in it. So if you're 12 or 13 forests in your deck, they are all, and you have Attune with the Ethers, you can just basically cut lands for those.
Yeah,
to
that's
a
right.
point. And so, that could do it. So, but you would want more than one to make that work. So,
Well, we're
Great
going to
deck.
check out some draft archetypes here while we get our